For more than 70 years, he's called the Claypool community home. But on March 1st came the rain, the wind, and yet another twister. For Glen Johnson, this shingle only serves as a reminder of the times it's happened before.
Make sure you're ready to meet your maker, because you might do it in a tornado.
It's been 43 years since the tornado outbreak of 1974. 148 tornadoes, 13 states. Within hours, more than 300 were dead, 2 of them in Warren County, Kentucky.
You don't see nothing, sir, because it happens too quick.
It's been 19 years since the hailstorm of '98, costing more than $10 million in damage to Greenwood Mall alone. Often forgotten about that day was the tornado in Warren and Barron counties that claimed the lives of 2 more.
Thank you, God, for being alive. That's what you think.
And it's been a mere 6 weeks since March 1st. Severe storms slammed the area during the morning rush hour, once again meeting Warren County with nature's twisting fury.
When you see death from a tornado, you see damage from a tornado, and people walk away from it, well, you've got to know there's a higher power.
3 tornadoes, 2 instances of lives lost, and 1 small-town man who remains unshaken, still living in the area that he calls Tornado Alley of Warren County.
I lived there, moved there when I was 5 years old. And my mom and dad lived there until they passed away.
Generations of family history, all within one house.
It's your home place. Your home place is, I've often told a lot of people, I can stand right here, and if you see the top of that house, to the right of this black and white barn here, top of that house, that big tree, that's where I was born at, on January 5th, 1941.
And a lifetime of memories threatened to be taken away when a tornado damaged Glen Johnson's childhood home just weeks ago.
Is it gone? You know, can I save it?
Those thoughts racing through Johnson's mind after support columns were blown out from under the roof. But there was more.
There was a building sitting right here. It was blown against this side of the house. It was right in here. The concrete pad out there, that was before you had inside plumbing. And it stood there through all the tornadoes, but this one got it.
So much property destroyed, but thankful that his childhood home remained spared yet again.
Unfortunately, I guess that we could be considered the Tornado Alley of Warren County because we've had 4 here since 1974.
Each one with a vivid story to be remembered, but 1974 being the most haunting.
I got home from work that afternoon, the wife had supper ready, and we'd sat down to eat supper, and the front door kind of rattled.
What he wasn't prepared for were the words he would hear next.
Oh my God, Glenn, said it's a tornado.
Or what he would soon see.
There was a house, it's quite a ways, about a half a mile down the road here. That house went into the air, and you've all seen The Wizard of Oz, Dorothy. That's what that house looked like till it got into the air and exploded in the air.
Taking the life of a beloved area teacher.
And I had the unfortunate experience, or fortunate experience, to help rescue the ones that was in that house and find Miss Barbara, and it was a very devastating time.
And also severely injuring a close cousin.
He was in his pickup truck, and he got out of his pickup truck, and the tornado caught him, and he caught a hold of a guide wire to a telephone pole or a light pole, and it beat him.
Bruised, battered, and unrecognizable.
I didn't even recognize him. He was that beat up, muddy, and nasty.
While the tornado of 1974 was the most devastating for Johnson, the act of nature was no stranger in the years that followed. So I asked him, how has that prompted you to prepare today in advance?
Well, you listen for the warnings to, if they're coming. We have a basement.
Then came the cold truth that only comes with experience.
You can't really prepare for it. You're never completely ready for when something like this happens.
If there's one thing that everyone who saw this story could take away, what do you think they should take away from this?
It could happen to anyone at any time. Make sure that when you leave home or you leave your loved ones, tell them you love them, because you might not get to come back to see them. And that life is short. Live it to the fullest and worship God.